So, hello and welcome to MadOverSportz, day 2 of the previews of the IPL team. Today, we'll be previewing the top 4 teams that were obviously on the top last season. And obviously, I have my friend who is again a cricket enthusiastic and obviously a Mumbai Indians fan. We could see with his shirt today. So, yes, we're going to review the top 4 teams and the champions for the last year as well. So we'll be reviewing them and we'll be analyzing about these 4 teams, how they have performed, and what do we expect about these teams in this year's IPL format. Welcome, Drupad, to the show
Yes.
once again.
Yes, thank you. And thanks for having me here. So today we'll be reviewing the top four teams, as you said. Let's start with Sunrisers Hyderabad,
Yes, surely, surely.
team that they finished third last season.
Yes.
So
Today
tell
we
me, what do you
keeping
think
a
about
different kind of format. We aren't going from 4-3-2-1, but we're keeping a different format altogether so that it interests you more when we come to our second part of the video.
yes.
Yeah. So we'll be reviewing first the SRH team. The SRH team, which is Sunrisers Hyderabad, and the team that performed well and did really well and finished at number 3 spot last season in 2020. So what do you have to say about the last year's team, Drupad?
To be honest, Sunrisers have always made the playoffs since 2016. They won for the first time in 2016. They have made each and every playoff still since then. 5 years, 5 playoffs. So one of the most consistent teams in the IPL. They didn't have initial good seasons when they started in the IPL, but after they got the first title, they were like one of the most consistent teams. Of course, when you say 5 years, 5 playoffs, what else you want to know about that team? So a very strong team has everything covered. One of the best bowling attacks the IPL has ever had in a team, which is Sunrisers Hyderabad. Whenever you talk about SRH, the first thing you talk about is their bowling attack. You have all the pace battery, all the spinners, top bowlers always there, and also for the batsmen, they have David Warner, a batsman who has consistently scored 500 plus runs since 2014. So a lot good players at the top and the bowlers as well. So another good team to reckon with.
Means since the time Warner has walked in into the team has looked completely into a different structure altogether.
Yes,
And
yes,
I don't know why, but I really like him as a batsman. The way he's aggressive, the way he shows his aggression, but he knows the game, he understands the game well as well, and he plays according to the situation really well. And
true.
if you go to see a few years back, they had an opening partnership of Warner and Dhawan. They had Yuvraj in the team when they won the IPL season as well. So obviously that team and Warner's captaincy has been definitely a good spark for SRH as they have made to the playoffs almost all the years since he's been made the captain. Barring the season where he was not available, but apart from that,
Yes,
he's been exceptional for them. And any which ways, he's an exceptional player, and I feel he's an X factor to the team when he comes by into the team. And any team, if he walks in, he's an X factor for sure.
true.
Apart from that, if you go to see last year's team, the major thing was that Bhuvi wasn't fit for the whole tournament, and that
Yes,
was a major setback. But with the kind of replacements that they got in, and the way Warner really marched the team ahead, I was quite impressed with the team for sure. I was quite impressed. And with that fact, if you see the replacement that came in for Mitchell Marsh, that was Holder that came in, who performed exceptionally well. Then Williamson was there regularly into the playing 11, so that was a big boost. And that's the reason when you feel that the team composition is the most important for them, and Warner understands the team really well. So that's the best thing about it. And obviously, the
yes.
X factor and the emerging player that last year emerged for us Indians has been T. Natarajan.
True. Yep. Made his India debut also and didn't disappoint. Another a bowler, if you would see, who would after Jasprit Bumrah, whom you can rely on, can bowl 6 consecutive Yorkers, has been Natarajan, and he has done that a lot of times in the IPL and also for the Indian team. So good to see a left arm fast bowler who can do the job what Bumrah has been doing for the Indian team, bowling consecutive Yorkers and also being economical. That's important. In a T20 match, you have to be economical as well as you have to take wickets. You can't just go after runs. So he has been economical. He has the ability to bowl Yorkers quite consistently. So really blessed that SRH has given such a talent to the Indian team.
Definitely, definitely. And with that fact, a player who was picked as a net bowler went on to
Yeah.
debut in all three formats. That's a really good thing, and he got the rewards for his achievements, that whatever he had performed, the hard work that he had done. So obviously, another X factor in the bowling after Bhuvi, they have got someone like Nattu into the team. So that's a really, really big boost for SRH in that matter. So
Yes.
now coming up, as they finished third last season, what do you expect this year? So now we'll be popping up the teams for you that they have, the squad that they have recollected and they formed after the auction and everything. So what
Yeah.
do you have to say about the team now after the auction?
So yeah, so let's talk about before the auction, like when coming to the auction, there's the names which they released. They released two, I think all, I think just five names, three Indian names, which were uncapped players. I don't exactly remember the name, but they released Fabian Allen and also Billy Stanley.
Yes,
The reason they released them was a bit of a strategic reason because those two players were not doing much in the team as with the respect to being a part of the playing 11 and were not
yes,
fitting into the scheme of things. So that made sense that they might let go of them and they can get some other players who has to fill that spot. So apart from Mumbai Indians, if a team which was like relaxed in the auction, it was the Sunrisers. Uh, they bought even lesser players than what Mumbai Indians bought. They just bought three players and they had some amount of money with them. So they bought Kedar Jadhav for 2 crores, Mujib for 1.5, and Jagdish and Suchit for 30 lakhs. So yeah,
the best part is that they've got both the Afghan spinners. Means all three
yes,
Afghans are playing into a same team this year. That's going to be really amazing. And would really love to see Rashid and Mujib play together. And obviously, that's the big thing. Means the most relaxed team in the auction with no hustle, just trying to play around with people in a couple of auctions, but didn't do anything much. And they probably
yes,
just picked up players as backups, as because they wanted backups. And apart from that, the team was all sorted in that matter of fact. They didn't have to do
true.
anything much or major into the auction through which they had to strategize or think regarding that.
True. If you see, if the overseas players which they have, of course, the captain David Warner, always the integral part of the Sunrisers team. They have Jason Holder, who does the finishing role, has done in the quite a lot of times in the previous season. They also have Johnny Bairstow, but I think he has been replaced with
No, no, no,
Jason
no.
Roy.
No, no, no. Mitchell Marsh, this is not the updated one. Mitchell Marsh has pulled
Oh,
out.
okay, okay. Mitchell Marsh
So
was replaced. So yeah, they had Mitchell
another
Marsh, and then he
destructive
has been
opener.
replaced.
Another
Yes, Jason
destructive
Roy.
English opener, man. They've roped in
Yes, so
Jason Roy.
yep,
Whoa.
of course. Then they have Kane Williamson, the captain cool of New Zealand. Then they have again Mohammad Nabi, Mujib, and Rashid, the three top Afghani bowlers and all rounders. So quite a balanced team. But of
Yes.
course, when you have players like David Warner in your team, who knows to manage the players well, has been so consistent with the bat. I don't think SRH had any doubts in their mind going into the auction. Looking at the players which they bought, and they were already set to just have a playing 11 and directly play in the first game.
Definitely, definitely. I'd just like to reflect on one player in specific, which goes like he comes under the shadow and he comes under the scanner every time SRH performs. That has been Manish Pandey. He's been
Yep.
performing well. He's not been at his best or he's not been the top run scorer for SRH. But people just tend to have him as a scapegoat when he doesn't perform or something like that. But if you see, he last year played some crucial knocks where which were quite handy for SRH to qualify as well. So he is an unsung hero. He and Vijay Shankar. Vijay Shankar also in the second half of the tournament proved himself that no, I am not just a filler, but I am a person who can work hard and get things done for the team as well. So definitely these two players are eyeing to watch. And Manish Pandey, on a real note, has been also been out of the Indian segments. So he would like to prove that way as well. But I really like him as a player, and I would really want him to perform this season well. So your thoughts on Manish Pandey for the season?
Manish, one of the rare Indian talents which we have, who can bat who can handle the situation as well and also can slog when needed. Manish Pandey hasn't been that kind of a player which we all know what he can do in the previous seasons, but that is all about the past. If you
Yeah,
talk about now, I think Manish Pandey has that responsibility on his shoulders to be one of the leading pack of batsmen. If you see of the Indian batsmen which they have, I think Manish Pandey is at the top there, and he has to take the responsibility. And I see him batting at number 3 again for Hyderabad. I don't want him to bat lower down the order because Manish Pandey, given the responsibility of scoring runs, if the opening fails, he can do that. And really looking forward to him as a batsman, purely batting at the top order and not anywhere bottom and doing the finishing role.
exactly. That's the thing. That's the thing I was mainly looking out for, because he's been also shuffling his batting order, and SRH have been shuffling. But if you go to see, the first Indian to score a century in IPL was Manish Pandey for RCB.
Yes.
And if you go to see, after that knock, his bar has been raised, but he had gone somewhere down the line missing, wasn't in that great form or anything. And as a player, if you give him a consistent spot, I feel he'll be really an X factor for the team as well into the middle order. And
Yes.
he is the
Yep.
main part of the setup as well for SRH.
Yes.
So with that, let's go ahead with the teams. That what do you think? Who will be the playing 11 for SRH?
Yes. Let's do it.
So here comes our Excel, where we'll be deciding who will be our players. And what do you think?
Just a second. Okay. So obviously you have to start with David Warner at the top. No brainer there. David Warner. Okay. So this is a bit tricky. I have a good alternate playing 11 also. So we would discuss
Oh,
that later. But let's talk about the main playing 11 which should be there. So I would want Saha to open with Warner.
excellent.
Even the previous seasons, he has proved that he can be a destructive batsman and not just a low-key test batsman. He can do the job. So I would want to back him again. So Warner, Saha, and as I said, Manish Pandey at 3.
Definitely.
Pandey at 3, Kane Williamson at 4.
Okay. Okay.
Then I would like to go with Kedar Jadhav.
Oh, interesting.
Abdul Samad. He
He
played
is
a
an
few games
upcoming, yes,
well,
upcoming talent, and
can
he's
be
been,
destructive.
yes,
Yes,
player from
can be
Jammu.
destructive with the bat, so can do the finishing role quite well there.
Yes, yes.
Again, I would like to now go with another overseas player, Mohammad Nabi.
Oh, that is nice.
Again, his country mate, Rashid Khan.
Definitely goes without a
So
doubt.
if you see the batting goes down till Rashid Khan, and also the next player which I am gonna pick can bat a bit, not hit along, but he can bat. Is Bhuvaneshwar Kumar coming back into the SRH squad after, and also he had a brilliant T20I series recently. We saw the old Bhuvaneshwar Kumar back, the
Yes.
one which we saw in his initial days versus Pakistan, the way he swung the ball like a banana. Then again, another great find for SRH and also for the Indian team, a great T20 bowler, Sandeep Sharma. Okay, put Nattu and then Sandeep Sharma, whatever you feel. That's
Or
what my squad is. And then I would like to go with Nattu.
perfect.
Yes. So before you give me your playing 11, I would like to give another playing 11. Again, which I mean, you can play both of the playing 11s depending on the situation, who fits where. Uh,
SRH can
Both
play
of
with
them
two
are
teams. SRH can play
yeah,
with two teams.
they can play with two teams and both are equally strong. It's not that it's a backup.
Yes.
So okay, that is not performing well or he's not in form. Again, I would like to go with Warner at the top. Uh, uh, okay, if Saha is not performing, we are keeping him out. It becomes a bit of a tricky situation for what do you say, Hyderabad. So a lot of overseas players then changes. So I would like to go with Johnny Bairstow or Jason Roy.
Okay,
I mean, any of the player can open with Warner there. Then again, Manish at number three will. Okay, so now if overseas is coming and I don't see Kane Williamson in this team, so I would like to go with Kedar Jadhav at this spot. He can bat up the order as well.
okay,
Kedar there, and then I would like to go with Jason Holder.
definitely a better batsman. He's a really good
Yes,
batsman, really good all rounder.
yes. Again, I would want Abdul Samad in the team there, so he will be there. If the conditions are not spin friendly, Mohammad Nabi can sit out and a player like Vijay Shankar can come in at his place.
Yes.
And again, the rest would be untouched. Same player as before. Rashid, Bhuvi, Sandeep, Nattu. So the overseas four players which happens is Rashid, Holder, Bairstow, Roy, or Warner. If you see, even this playing 11 can beat any team on the given day. The bowling attack is unchanged. The four core bowlers which they have. Uh, Again, if you see in this team as well, the batting goes down till Rashid Khan,
Yes.
as same as the previous. But the only thing which will be there, a position will change. Jadhav will have to bat up the order, and Jason Holder will have to do the finishing role as needed whenever. So this would be my alternate playing 11 for
Exactly.
Hyderabad.
But
Both of them looking equally strong.
yes, yes,
Both of them.
definitely. But only thing in the alternative order I feel is that preferably they'll play Besto, because if you go into the alternative order, they don't have a keeper. So Besto works in as a keeper batsman itself. So
Yes.
first
Yes.
preference will
Yes.
be Besto, but
Yes.
really,
Obviously.
really going to be a mouth-watering contest if we see Roy and Warner opening together. Man, oh man.
But then we'll need a keeper. So Kedar Jadhav can keep the wickets if needed. If it's like a bizarre situation, so he can keep. But not won't be the first choice. But when
Yes,
needed,
yes,
he can do that as well. So yes,
definitely,
let's
definitely.
let's see your playing 11 now.
So my playing 11, for that reason itself, I really wanted to open with Roy, but the only prospect in that is that I'm missing out on a keeper, for that matter of fact. So that is the reason I'll go with Besto,
Yep.
then Pandey for sure. Out here, I am giving Williamson with, I feel, Shankar, because he's been performing
Mhm.
well and he was really criticized last year, but then he came back in and everything. So I feel that he will be given a nod ahead for that reason. And with that, then Samad often definitely walks into the team without any doubt, because he's been playing exceptional cricket and everything. With them, my three overseas slots are already done. So for that reason, I need to get someone like a Priyam Garg, was part of the setup last year as well. And for a middle order batsman, if you can say, I can swap Garg and Shankar as well for other spots, because Shankar can be playing as a finisher role as well. And definitely this goes without saying. So this will be
Yes.
the same.
Nobody would want to
This
change
is not
the
going to
bowling
change
setup.
for sure. Exactly. This is
Yes.
not going to be changing until and unless something goes wrong to any bowler or he's unfit or anything, then. But apart from that, I like this setup as well. And the only thing I am liking moreover is this, definitely Saha is a better option, and Saha can give you that extra boost opening and as an Indian player. So you can go ahead with one more player. So maybe if out here I go for an alternative, like if I go Besto or Saha, then same thing I can use out here. That is for Garg. I can have someone like Holder
Hmm.
who can swap in and play that role. So basically, if you go to
You,
see, somewhat similar to last year's team only, what they had, and I feel this is a stronger side itself. Though Besto was on and off, and after the recently concluded series, definitely he is the man in form as well currently. But if you see, you have only four overseas slot. So Besto in that reason becomes a bit tricky. And to leave
yep,
out a player like Williamson, it's a bit harsh, not harsh, but it doesn't feel good, like a player like so calm, so composed, and one of the he's Fab Four, yeah, he's one of the Fab Four,
yep,
and if
yes.
he is not in the playing 11,
Come
he
on, even Joe Root is in the Fab Four. You don't see him playing
he's
T20
don't see
cricket,
him in the
right?
IPL anymore. Means he's not part of the IPL. That is shocking as well. But
Yeah, so
if you go
that's
to
okay.
see, with that reason, I feel the middle order becomes stronger out here. Same with you as well. The Jadav thing, only question about Jadav is regarding his fitness. That was the
Hmm.
issue that had been caused trouble the last season as well with CSK. So that was under the radar and under the scanner as well. And definitely, if he is fully fit, he can give you his some overs with spin, and he can be that X factor as well, because he can finish off the innings
Yes.
really well. He can pace off his innings well,
Yep.
but he needs to
Yep.
be in that kind of fitness. And if he is into the fitness, I feel he can walk in, but I still feel he won't be the first choice to walk in, according to me. The only reason is because they have had a lot of faith on Shankar last season. Garg also performed well for them last season. And definitely, Samad is someone who is an upcoming talent, a youngster who's an upcoming talent, and he's been performing really well. He can give you some part time spin as well, as Warner would like, just to play around, or just to give, as he used to give it to Yusuf
Yep.
Pathan at the earlier stages of SRH when he was there. So I feel something like that. So the middle order becomes like this stable, and Jadhav can walk in for Holder or Garg as well in that spot if
True.
he's fully fit.
True. But a few again, I would like to raise one more point here. The first, okay, the one point is I think one of the small mistakes which SRH made last year was he didn't utilize Mohammad Nabi to his fullest.
Yes,
So, yeah. So I would still, that's why I have in my first playing 11. I would want Mohammad Nabi to be there. And also, I would want Kedar Jadhav to be there and preferred over a Shankar because if you see, Hyderabad is playing its first matches in Chennai. So yeah, so they are playing the first match in Chennai. It's a sort of a turning and a slowish track there. So having Jadav, Nabi as players who can bat and bowl as well. If Jadav can come and give some 20, 25 odd runs down the order in like 15 10 to 10 balls and come in with and chip in with some two quick overs and give economical 2 3 overs, he can be that player. Similarly, same goes for Mohammad Nabi as well. So
yes,
just because they are playing in Chennai for the first 5 games, I would like to have an edge in Kedar Jadhav and both Jadhav and both Nabi.
definitely agreed, agreed. Because yeah, if you go to see, already they have a setup of three fast bowlers, three peak fast bowlers that they have into the team, and with one spinner, which is Rashid. So only one spinner, one idle spinner. If he needs some kind of cushioning, some help, then definitely Nabi and Jadhav can be the ones who can roll arm their arms and definitely get a couple of overs in. Definitely, if I go with my setup, then in a way, Rashid doesn't have a support in a spin department. So
Yes.
definitely, your playing 11 in this case works ideally with a track, spinning track, and everything. Probably they can try it out for first two games as well. But if things don't work, then obviously they have a lot of backups in that case.
Yeah.
As we
That's the best thing
as
for
we have
SRH.
made three teams, almost we have made three teams out of the
And
squad.
all the three teams are different from like a lot different from each other.
Yeah, definitely,
So that speaks the volume about how great SRH team are, and that is the reason why they haven't done a lot of cutting and chopping in the team. They were relaxed, and that is the reason why they are as consistent from the last 5 years. And one team which can give a tough fight to Mumbai Indians, which I feel this year is Hyderabad.
definitely, definitely. I too feel the same because they have been playing really good cricket, and the way I love Warner's captaincy after Rohit Sharma, man, that
Yes.
has
Yep.
been exceptional. Means he talks around with the bowlers, he guides his players, and he just soaks in the pressure and everything. So that has been exceptional for them. And in that case, obviously the team looks quite a lot strong and really good. The middle order looks really stagnant as well. Means they don't need to do much changes as they did in the auction. They just bought backups. That's the same thing they'll be doing out here as well. While playing
Mm.
conditions, they'll just analyze the condition, and they might have to make just a couple of changes into that. But apart from that,
Yes.
I feel 7, 8 players are fixed into the team, and just a few players can be switched according to the conditions and everything. So definitely a good team, and a team to look out for. So now coming to the interesting questions. Who do you think is your most valuable player for SRH this season?
Yeah, I think you will be surprised. I don't know if you'll be surprised or not, but I would like to back this player simply because a lot has been spoken about him as the kind
I
of a batsman he has been
I
and
think we
all.
are thinking alike again.
I am going with Kedar Jadhav as
Oh,
the most valuable player.
okay. A bit different. No worries. That's great. That's
Yes.
great.
The reason being, as I said, they're going to be playing in Chennai. And the reason Jadhav had nothing much to do with the CSK team previously because he was not fitting into the playing 11. He didn't have that fixed role that, okay, Jadhav, you have to be, this is your role, you have to do this. He was in and out, sometimes would play, sometimes would not play. And also, he was injury prone as well. As you said, he was not that fit as well. But I think he would have worked a lot on his fitness. He would be fit to play, I think, almost 40, all the 14 games. And given the fact they're going to be playing in Chennai, Indian batsmen can spin the ball, can be that golden arm for Hyderabad. So, not saying that he will be amongst all the wickets, but he can come in and chip in the quick wickets and important wickets as well. So,
Definitely.
just for that, reason, I would give Kedar Jadhav an upper hand as my MVP.
Good choice. Good choice. Good choice. And an experienced player itself. So definitely a
Yeah,
really good choice. But I would like to go with a youngster because
Samad.
he's been not just because he's a youngster, but he's also been prone well. People have talked a lot about him, and a player coming from Jammu, and have
Yep.
heard a lot. His domestic games were also good enough, wasn't that great as the numbers that we see for other players, but a player playing for Jammu and playing so well, getting a recognition. And last year also we saw that he could tong the ball really well. So
Yes.
definitely, I feel somewhere down the line, I see a kind of Yusuf Pathan into Samad, because he is that kind of a bowler, which I feel not bowler, you can say, but a batsman who can tonk the ball and is a tall guy as well. So I feel somewhere down the line, I feel similarities between Yusuf Pathan and Samad out here, for that matter of fact. And a youngster, and they've backed him well as well. So as a valuable player, I feel that he'll be an X factor to the team as well for this season. So
Yep.
now coming to the question, I like to make a small tweak out here. Let's not go
Mhm.
for the captain for sure out here.
Manish Pandey.
Oh man, same, same.
If not David Warner, you want Manish Pandey because as we
Definitely,
spoke about, you want him to
definitely,
bat up the order, responsibility uh, g- uh, of the leader of the pack of the batsmen. Obviously, you want Manish Pandey to perform well this, and a lot we discussed about it. So, if of course we know Warner has been so consistent, he
yes,
will again be consistent. Given
yes,
the fact, if not 500, he will score at least a decent amount of score, which can get Hyderabad to over the line. But would like to back Manish Pandey here.
definitely. I would also say as an alternative that I would want him to perform as well, Saha as well, if he gets a good run of the games, if he's fully fit, and if he gets really, that would be a really treat, because the last a couple of innings in the last year that he played were exceptional, and with that
Yes.
strike rate and with that ability to hit around the park, I definitely feel if he gets a wrong run as well, there will be a good contest and a good show of runs as well from SRH in that matter of fact. So I would just keep him as an
Yes.
alternative, because just stating as his conditions, fitness, and everything. But definitely Pandey will be my first choice, and if Saha comes into the picture for a good run of games, then we might see him scoring a lot of runs for SRH as well. Then
Hmm.
now
Agreed.
the best bowler.
Again, a tough choice to pick the best bowler when you have someone like Rashid Khan, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Sandeep, and Nattu. I think one of the best bowling attacks in the IPL. But I would like to. We know that Bhuvaneshwar Kumar recently came and he was in form as well. So no doubt he is going to perform well. But I would like to back the youngster Natarajan here.
We don't have any differences as far as it goes because he's been performing well. He's been literally there, and a bowler of that caliber, bowling under pressure and everything, and playing at the big stage. There have been times when there has been like they have not been performed, players has been gone for runs. You can say the same was with Siddharth Kaul as well. He was an upcoming talent and
Yes.
everything, but somewhere down the line some players do take it differently, and Nattu is one of those. They are eye catchy, and he is there in everyone's radar. Now,
Yep.
earlier when play teams used to play SRH, they used to fear that okay, we just need to play sensibly 4 overs, that is of Rashid Khan, and then we can accelerate. But now they have to think differently. Now they have to think there are 4 overs of Nattu, 2 overs of Bhuvi plus 2 of Bhuvi means there are 12 overs where we need to play sensibly. And with that matter of fact, it becomes much more difficult for the team to perform in those strategies. The opponents become really difficult that whom do we go after? Whom do
Yes.
we
And
really go
also,
after?
yeah, and if you see, these are the top four bowlers which are going to make the playing 11. But if you see the other backups which they have the likes of Siddharth Kaul, they have the likes of Khalil Ahmed, they have Shahbaz Nadeem as well with them. So the bowling is quite covered there. In the batsmen, they have Shrivats Goswami, they have Priyam Garg who can come in, they have someone like Virat Singh as well, uh, who can be coming in and doing the job there. So
Abhishek Sharma is
all in
also
all,
there.
whom?
Abhishek Sharma. He also played last
Abhishek
year.
Sharma.
Yeah,
Yes. So yes, a team which is packed with a lot of good players, not if big players, but a good set of players who can do the job done on the given day. So yes, if you talk about the playoff squad, hands down, without any thought, they are definitely making the playoffs for me this season.
definitely for me as well. They are making for the playoffs. And
Yes.
with that, because if you go to see, I feel the most balanced side after MI is SRH, as we said earlier, as well as you said earlier. They were most balanced. They have all sectors covered. They've got backups also really well. So definitely a good team and a good, really comfortable team to look after for, as they know each other really well and everything. So in that matter, that's a really good thing and a really good boost. And definitely I can see them going ahead into the top four. So
I really
definitely,
want, really. So last year they finished on third. So this time they have the potential to finish right at the top of the table. Not being overconfident that they had a great team as well. If you see, they have great players, they have average players as well, but those average players can also do big things when needed. Players like Abhishek Sharma, Abdul Samad coming in, Saha can come in and do the job. So I would, if not top, we are saying they will be in top four, but I am saying that they are the ones who will be in the top two for sure.
definitely a good choice, because obviously this team looks really strong, and provided everybody is fit, then though this thing is threatening, really threatening. So
Yep.
definitely SRH is a good team to watch out for this season. And as Drupad said, contenders for top two. So definitely they have to
Yep.
be there at the top.
a
So with
lot of a lot of people are when I was speaking to a lot of people from the other group of cricket as well, a lot of them have already predicted the like final for this year, and many have been coming up with MI versus SRH for the
oh
finals this year.
wow,
And even if you if the in the previous year Hyderabad, okay, they didn't perform that well in the qualifiers. After beating RCB, they lost to Delhi Capitals. But what I feel is that if unpopular opinion, but if Hyderabad would have made it to the finals last year, it would have been a tough challenge for Mumbai Indians to beat them.
Definitely,
Goes without
definitely,
saying.
definitely. With the amount of experience that they have of playing into the playoffs and everything, though DC didn't do that bad as well. DC was really exceptional last season. But with SRH into the contingent, it would be a bit more difficult for
Yeah,
SRH to ever.
as you saw in the finals, DC
Yeah,
scored 156 and Mumbai had to score 157. So Mumbai easily scored in the 18th or 19th over without any hassle. But if Hyderabad wouldn't have been, I'm not saying that hota hi hota, but
definitely,
there would have been a scope of a tough fight there, and the better team would have won in any which way. So
definitely,
yes,
definitely.
Sunrisers Hyderabad,
Team to watch out
a
for.
lot. Yes.
Definitely. So with that, we conclude the SRH team discussion for this season, and we hope to see them in top four. So now let's begin with the second team for the day that we are going to discuss. That is the last year's finalists, the first time
Yes.
finalists that they entered. That's the
Yes.
Delhi
Yes.
Capitals, the runner-up of the tournament of IPL 2020, Delhi Capitals.
Yeah.
So they are the team to watch out for. They played exceptionally last year. And what do you think about this season last year, Drupad? And how it had gone and how their road was to the final?
Oh, yes, another good team full of Indian youngsters, a lot of Indian talent out there, a lot of talented players who are a big future prospect for the Indian team if you consider for the future. So they're a good young side led by Shreyas Iyer previously. So they did perform really well. Another young captain who took the team to the finals. Also, if you talk about the fortunes change when they change their names from the Delhi Daredevils to Delhi Capitals. So right after them, they have a very good season in the IPL. They made it to the finals. No one would have just thought, ki, okay, apart from if you see the previous IPL, if you have picked a top four, I don't think a lot of teams would have picked, a lot of people would have picked Delhi Capitals in their top four in the previous season, but they proved everyone wrong and they reached the finals. Great, a good team, good players, another team to look forward to in the IPL.
Definitely. And if you go to see the last year's performance, there were a bit of hiccups, but they were in form from the start. They were the team on the top since the start. There was no, there was a scare of a moment later on in the second half of the tournament when things started going a bit haywire from them. But they recovered well from there and really started performing really well. And with Shreyas Iyer's captaincy, definitely this team looked better. He was there to lead the team, a youngster leading a team like that. And he also is a player who is a happy-go-lucky player. He understands the team. He talks to players, and with the support staff, the experience around him, and the great coach, Mr. Ricky Ponting. So he's been there with the team. So definitely that's a really big boost for DC, wherein they can really understand. He analyzes the game really well. He understands the game
But,
really well.
but,
Yeah.
but a lot we're talking about Shreyas here, but let's not forget he's not a part of the Delhi
Coming
Capitals
to it.
this year.
Coming to it. We're talking about last year.
Yeah.
Let's cherish, at least let's
Okay.
cherish for Delhi fans that last year they were there. They were the team that made it to the finalists. They were the runner-ups. So nothing to be taken away from there. Last year definitely was the season which they had outperformed. So coming to this year, they went into the auction with a plan, a clear picture that they wanted just the fillers and a few buys who can just be as backups, can be used in this COVID situations. You might never know what happens. So you need a good squad which can really you can rely on. So here is the squad that they got in this year when they came out of the auction. So definitely a few changes in the squad as it's not updated. That Shreyas Iyer has been missing. He's out ruled out of the tournament due to a shoulder injury. Unfortunate for DC, which is a really big blow because the kind of captain and Drupad clearly said so that just remember this year he isn't there. I totally agree to that. This year he isn't there. That kind of captain he is, the kind of player he is really fun to watch. So definitely a big blow to them. And what do you have to say about the team that they bought in at the auction?
Again, a good team. They didn't have much to change with their whole team setup, but just a few players here and there to get in. So are also a team which didn't spend a lot in the auctions. A lot as mean they got a couple of 7 8 players, but they didn't spend like 10 11 crores on a single player. The maximum they spent in the auction was for I think Tom Curran. They've spent around 5.25 CR for Tom Curran. And again, nothing against that. Tom Curran is a decent bowler, not a great bowler, but can do the job when needed. Another big buy, the which a lot of thing has been spoken about is about the purchasing Steve Smith.
Ah,
Um, Yep, just for 2.20 crores, Rajasthan Royals released them after the last season, and then everyone were curious if where which team this player Steve Smith will play. And again, Delhi Capitals. I don't know. Okay, I don't know if he will play every game or not. I'm not sure of that, depending on situation. But having Steve Smith around in your team is always a boost. And also considering that Ricky Ponting is the captain, another former Australian player, so having it was by default that Steve Smith is coming there, and it will be a good, what do you say, a good role he can play whenever needed. What do
definitely,
you have to say?
definitely. But if you go to see when his name came out in the auction, went for a base price to DC. That was really shocking for everyone that he went for a base price altogether. And the team bought him as well with everyone was shocked that where will he play? Where will be he slotted in and why did they pick him up? But if you go to see now as per the current situation with Shreyas not being there, I feel it was a good buy because
Yep.
Steven Smith is a kind of a person who plays in the middle order, and for that reason, it'll be a really big boost that yeah we've got him for a base price, and that's the thing where I feel that yeah that was a good buy after the current situation.
Yes. Okay.
Up,
Apart from Steve Smith, they also got Sam Billings
correct.
for 2
Yes,
crores. Has been a part of Delhi Daredevils as well in the previous seasons as well. They released him and they've again got him back. So, another wicketkeeper batsman can be destructive on the given day. Another, they got a lot of players for base price, a lot of Indian uncapped players such as Vishnu Vinod, Ripal Patel, Lukman Meriwala. Another good bowler in the domestic circuit has performed. And if you see the overseas international bowler which they got for 1 crore, the big name in the Indian team for a certain period of time, Umesh Yadav, which was released by
exactly.
RCB last year.
Delhi boy is
So
back.
have Yadav as well. So okay, let's see how he performs with Delhi. We know that had a bit issues with the RCB team, considering that that bowling department was not working well there with Yadav and RCB. So really looking forward to seeing Umesh Yadav bowling quick for RCB this year and being economical at least this year.
Definitely, definitely. Now the major point to talk about before we start the discussion for the team and everything, the new captain that they've announced, a youngster
Yes,
and a really a quirky person behind the stumps. That's Rishabh Pant. What do you
yes.
have to say about that?
So as soon as we got to know that Shreyas Iyer is not going to be part of the IPL, so the first thing which we started thinking, who will captain Delhi Capitals? Who will captain? Because when you see the team which they have the names like Ajinkya Rahane, Shikhar Dhawan.
Ashwin,
I'm just taking the names of the players who have been captains previously. So Shikhar Dhawan
Ravichandran
has been
Ashwin.
captain.
Yeah,
Rahane. They have Ravichandran Ashwin, who has done a decent captaincy for
exactly.
Punjab Kings in the past. Prithvi Shaw recently led Mumbai to the Vijay Hazare Trophy. If you see, they have Steve Smith also they bought in the
Yes,
team. So another international captain was the captain in the past, but now he's in not more. But he brings something a good as a captain to the table. But shocking, but I would not say it was shocking to see Rishabh Pant being named as a captain purely on the basis that Pant being a guy from Delhi, he understands the Delhi scheme very well. And also he's young. He has matured recently, because previously when we would talk about Rishabh, but everyone would be like he scares both the teams. The team which he's playing for is also scared, and the team with opposition is also scared. The problem lies when your own team is scared of you when you are going out to bat. So that has changed recently. If you see in the Australia series, he has matured as a player. I mean, a player who can hit Jofra Archer and Jimmy Anderson for reverse sweeps. I
Damn.
mean, that's the fearless brand of cricket which Rishabh Pant has got after as well. Like he plays fearless as well, but also plays that sensible knocks, which he has improved.
The
So,
best part is that he's got the backing of the team. He was supportive even in his tough times. He was backed, and definitely that has proved into his favor because he's worked well, really hard on his fitness and everything. Though we call him the Spider Man, but definitely we call him Spider Man for a reason because he's worked hard really well on his fitness. He's agile. He can play variety of shots, and
yep,
the way he chops around behind the stumps. Definitely, that's the best thing that we are going to all be waiting for the Delhi match. And I
yes,
feel it's a good opportunity for him to lead the team. Agreed, Prithvi Shaw was a contender, the experienced players were a contenders, and they were there, which they could have gone for. But the only thing I felt why they went for Pant is because he was one of those three players who were retained by Delhi when they first retained. So they retained Ayer, they retained Pant, and I guess they retained Prithvi Shaw as well, if I'm not wrong. So these were the three players that they went for. And you see, last year's season for Shaw, that had been a bit dicey season. He had been going through a lot and wasn't at his best. But for that reason, and if you see, you said that you had Steven Smith as well. But as rightly mentioned in our last video, that giving captaincy to a overseas player gets your overseas slot booked. So you only have
yep,
three other slots to fill in, which becomes a bit more tedious. So with that matter of fact, I feel it's a smart decision, and the man who's behind the stumps, who have the whole view of the ground. So that's definitely a good opportunity, which I feel that has been given to him. And I would really want him to perform well because I would like to see him, the confidence that he's currently having, the boost that he's currently having. I would like to see that same boost and same confidence in this IPL with his captaincy as well, and not coming under
yes.
pressure and just diminishing. That is what
So
I would
also,
really want.
also something about having a wicket-keeping captain in your team. We have four of them. We have Sanju Samson, we have MS Dhoni, we have
KL
KL
Rahul.
Rahul. Again, now we have Rishabh Pant, another wicket-keeping batsman. So yes, and also a lot has been spoken about how as a batsman Rishabh Pant has matured as a player. But a lot of people still don't talk about that. Okay, we see Rishabh Pant slogging a lot. He hits the ball over the park, but now what the thing has changed, that even if he's playing the ball around the ground, he's hitting the gaps. He's not giving it in the straight hands. He's finding gaps. He's playing along the ground, and also he is slogging whenever needed. So yes, he is high on confidence. A lot of heroics recently in the Australian series by Rishabh Pant, and also in the Indian in the T20 series against England. When he hit the Jofra Archer for that reverse sweep for six. Yes, so he's high on confidence. Good choice, and he will learn a lot as a captain. If you remember, in the under 19 team, Ishan Kishan was Rishabh Pant's captain. So he doesn't have that a lot of experience in captaincy, has a certain amount of experience of captaincy in the domestic circuit doing, but this will give him a lot of learning experience as well. And also, as you said, he has a lot of backing of a lot of international players, and also the coach Ricky Ponting, who has high regards for a player like Rishabh Pant. So really looking forward to Pant as a captain now.
Definitely, definitely. And he is been performing well. And I just want that he doesn't come under that pressure and his
Yeah.
form starts diminishing, because his form is really important for Delhi as well as for the Indian future as well. So definitely we do not
Yes.
want that to get diminished or any kind of demotivation. But I would really want him to flourish with this captaincy role as well. So now coming to the main segment, that is of the teams, where we are going to discuss the teams, which teams are going to be there, what is the playing 11 for DC.
Yes.
So here, let's do a thing. What I suggest is let's make the team that is the team that is regularly going to play, or the team that we see as a regular playing 11 first, and then let's make the team for first couple of matches, because there have been some changes due to COVID regulations and everything. So few players might miss out on everything. So let's do this way, that first we'll make the team that we regularly would like to see for DC.
Okay, so if we talk about the regular players, two big names apart from Shreyas Iyer, who's not going to be the part, is
Rabada.
Kagiso Rabada and Nokia.
Yeah.
So if you want me to make a team, considering that these two players are also available.
Yes. Apart from
Okay,
Shreyas Iyer, other everybody else is available for this season.
okay,
So if you
okay. So
see
let's
starting
see
few
then.
matches, some people will be missing a game. But regular playing 11, once the whole team is back, so your regular playing 11, your main 11, what will be your
Hmm.
main 11?
Yeah, so Prithvi Shaw, Shikhar Dhawan for sure. Shaw and Dhawan. I would want a player like Rishabh Pant to play at number 3 this year.
Okay. Fun. All right.
And the strong feeling I have, Steve Smith will get a chance in the game, so he can bat at 4. But okay, he can bat at number 3 as well, depending on the situation. The punt can bat at 4, he can bat at 3. So both of these can shuffle
Yeah.
if the management wants them to.
Yes.
So that's there. Then again, I would like to have Marcus Stoinis now.
Okay.
Okay, another thing, Akshar Patel is again. I don't think he's gonna be available. He's COVID positive. So, but you want a team fully fleshed him. So I would have
Yes.
Akshar Patel as well in the team
Yes.
after Stoinis.
Okay.
Another player, not a cap player, but a player with a great potential for the Delhi Capitals. I would like to have Lalit Yadav in the team. Yes, another good all rounder. He plays for Delhi as well. So can I just want this name to be a prominent name in the Indian team, because considering the fact that he is actually is a good player. Then after him, I would like to go with Ashwin,
Yes. Okay.
Rabada, Nokia, and Umesh.
Rabada, JK, and Umesh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So this is your main 11 that you're
Yep.
thinking. Nice.
If now, if Chris now, since we know that Chris Vokes and sorry, not Chris Vokes, I mean Umesh, wait.
Nokia and Rabada.
Since we know that Nokia and Rabada are not available, so to fill their gap, I think Chris Vokes can
So
come in, and also
we'll make that alternative 11 for the first couple of games.
okay.
So I'll also give my main playing 11, where I definitely feel he's going to bat at 3. I don't see Smith being regular into the setup, purely because of his batting ability, that he can bat anywhere into the order. But with a player like Stoinis, Pant, Dhawan, and Shaw,
One
you
second, one second, one second.
yeah.
Sorry to disturb, but I want a change in my team. I would like to go with Ishant in place of Umesh. Sorry, can continue now.
Yeah. So see, definitely Smith is a really good batsman and everything that he's a part of, and he is again one of the Fab Four and everything. But with the kind of batting ability that he has, he can bat anywhere into the order and everything. But in matter of fact, where Smith, if you want to put him, you can put him at one down position, but at the same point of time, then you're going to hamper around with some players ability, where you can see Stoinis also going up the order and he can play that role. Last year he opened the innings in the, I guess he opened it in the qualifier
Yep,
one, yeah,
he did.
qualifier
No,
one.
he opened in the finals as well.
eliminators and finals, the qualifier 2 and
Yep.
finals. So in qualifier 2, he was there and he was not at his best. Just a minute. Da, da. Hmm. Yeah. So in the qualifier 2 and in the finals, we could see him go berserk, and the way of aggression that he had in qualifier 2 to perform. And
He didn't go berserk in the finals. He was out first ball, if you
no, no,
remember.
I am saying qualify two. Qualify two, he went
Qualifier two.
berserk. He went berserk and he had a different kind of aggression altogether. So definitely someone that he is capable of and he'll be having into the setup. Apart from that, I would also go for Hetmaya. Only reason is because they do not have left-handers other than Pant and Stoinis, Pant and Dhawan into the setup. Directly comes Akshar Patel. He'll be down the order. So that's why someone in the middle order, and he's performed well as well. We don't know how he'll perform back in India because his season with RCB wasn't that great when he was part of the setup. But definitely one they'll back him for that reason. So Hetmeyer is one that I'll go for. Then definitely I'll go for Ashwin Patel, Rabada Nokia. That goes without a doubt. And for the fact Ishant as well, yeah, I can go with these three. So I have one spot yet remains that is there to be filled, where you say someone like an Amit Mishra can walk into the setup, but that will be a part of three spinners then. So regularly Amit Mishra won't be a part of that way. But apart from that, I feel the middle order lacks a batsman in that case. And if I go to see my overseas slots, also my overseas slots also gone. So four overseas slots are also being filled. So someone like a Lalit Yadav should make an impact and should grab that opportunity in the absence of Shreyash Iyer. Because if you put in someone like an Ajinkya Rahane into the middle order, it will be a bit dicey, and that will be something which is not which might lag their strike rate as well or the run rate as well
Yep.
when they try to play him off. So that's the reason when Lalit Yadav can walk in into the picture and they can play well with him. So this can be the probable 11, which is most likely 11 for DC
Yes.
this season, which once everybody is fit and back and running into the picture. So definitely this will be the 11 that they'll be going out for on most of the bases. The only difference I feel in yours and mine is the Smith and Hetmeyer difference, which is a major difference. And Umesh, we don't know how he's performed, how he's going to perform. He'll be given the chances, but I really want Ishan to get a longer run this season as well, because he has been the spearhead of the Indian bowling for a long, long time in the into the tests. But in white ball, he has just missed it. So for that reason, I would really want him to be the part of the setup as well. So with that, now let's go with the 11 for the first couple of games. What do you feel? What do you think the changes? So I'll just remove the names which I feel are unavailable for first couple of matches. That is Patel, Akshar Patel, Rabada, Nokia. So these three slots are mainly to be filled uh, in that fact, because other than that, everybody is fit.
So I feel if not what do you say, Rabada, Chris Vokes can come in place of Rabada.
Okay, that's a really good
Chris
option.
Vokes can come in. Soines is there. So okay, I will name four overseas players which I think will play.
Okay.
So they will be Rabada, not Rabada, sorry, Vokes, Toynes, Smith, and Hetmeyer.
So Hetmeyer walks in out here.
And if you want a spinning option in place of Akshar Patel, I would have gone with maybe Amit Mishra.
Definitely.
Again, you are batting till Chris Vokes.
Yes,
considering that even Ashwin can bat a bit. So even Vokes can bat a bit. And also Vokes can bowl with the new ball as well. So given the fact they can have Ishant Vokes opening with the bowling, Ashwin and Mishra can chip in with the wickets, or Stoinis can bowl a few overs, and also Lalit Yadav can bowl. So this should be a decent playing 11 if you see for the starting
definitely.
few games. Not sure how many games,
Yeah.
what's the exact scene, but maybe two, 3 or 4 games, whatever it is. I think this is a good playing 11 for Delhi.
Definitely. So if I go to see, if I want to get in the bowling prospect, I have my two overseas, and two overseas are missing as well, and Akshar Patel. So definitely for me also Mishra walks in straight away. But I feel a leg spinner with Mishra's experience, and when you have Akshar Patel missing, I definitely feel he's an X factor with the kind of experience, with the man who's got, I guess, the most number of hat tricks as well. So with that kind of a caliber and that experience, I definitely feel Mishra will walk in. I'll also definitely go in for Vokes because he is a like to like, not exact like to like
Sorry.
replacement for Rabada, but definitely pacey, and he can bat as well. He can
Sorry.
bat as well in those regards. So your Vokes works in definitely for that reason. Now I would only go with, if I go, I see a bowling auction which is more loaded on Ishant and Vokes. Okay. And if for the same matter of fact, if I see Lalit Yadav is a spinner, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Lalit Yadav, Ashwin, and Mishra are the spin attacks. So maybe as a Tom Curran who can just walk in just to give that pace stability into the bowling lineup with Vokes, Ishant, a bit of a pace stability. Yes, definitely I could go with Smith as well. But just to give that stability into the bowling order, I feel that Tom would be a bit much more efficient. Well, he'll give you a couple of overs at least, if not four, but at least a couple of overs. Wherein if someone like Ishant, Mishra, Lalit Yadav, any of these three go for a tonk, definitely Tom can come in and bowl a couple of overs, couple of pacey overs, and can get you up and running. So that way, I feel Stoinis is also an option. Stoinis is also there. Will bowl in a couple of overs as well. So definitely, if they want to go in with a batting friendly and you want to keep a batting friendly, then Smith walks in straight for Tom Curran. But just if they want to give that stability, I feel Tom will be, because with Tom they can bat down the order as well, a bit more deeper as well. So that will be something which I feel that will be a bit more interesting for them as well. And with that setup and everything,
Yes.
I feel Tom walks in better for them.
Hmm. Yep. Decent.
Yeah,
That is what a lot of players are not available, so that would
yeah,
hurt
yeah,
Delhi a little at the start. So let's see.
definitely, definitely. So now, who do you think will be a valuable player for this season?
Hmm. I would want to go with Prithvi Shaw this time. I want to back this guy.
We Mumbai boys, I tell you.
Oh, yeah, yeah, another Mumbai player. So you also have Prithvi Shaw.
I tell you. That's why I said we Mumbai boys.
Yeah. Given the fact that he is in a okay, let's not like jinx this one because he has
Yeah,
been
yeah,
very
yeah.
unpredictable in the past as well. Previous IPL he didn't perform that well. Going into the Australia series was got dropped from the squad as well. Came back was a bit into say a sort of a depression sort of a phase where he was like trying to figure out what he's doing wrong and what's going on with him. Came back ever strong, ever hard. The way he the records he broke, double centuries in the Vijay Hazare Trophy, the high maximum runs scored ever in the season. Again, so yes, being he's going to be high on confidence and he's going to bat maturely and sensibly this year. And if he can get going at the top with Shikhar Dhawan, Delhi will have a great chance to have access to a good start, and then the lower order can accelerate and get them to a good score.
Exactly, exactly. With last season, he was again and again not able to perform. He was low on confidence, though he was backed well by Delhi, but still he was low on confidence. And with the Sayyad Mustaq Ali trophy, the way he's boosted his confidence, he's played. I too really hope he gets the same confidence into the IPL sector and he goes for a blast, because he has been underrated. He's been criticized last season for his performances and everything. And if you go to see, there were a few analysts as well. They were saying that Delhi will be for sure 1 wicket down when Shaw plays in first few overs. So that was the kind of criticism that he was going through. And I definitely want him to hit back at those criticisms and prove that no, I am the player to watch out for. That was just one phase which went through, but I am back and I am the future of the Indian cricket as well. So
Yeah.
definitely I would also want him, not as because he's a Mumbai guy or he's a Mumbai player, but his ability, the way he hits the shots and the amount of run he scores, that has been exceptional. So only for that matter of fact, I want him to perform and to get back into that right frame of mind and to perform well.
Agreed. Cool.
So the
Best
best,
batsman.
yeah,
Hmm. As much as I want to go with Pant, but for pure reasons that Pant won't get to bat as much as expected. If he bats at number three, good enough. He might get a lot, but I don't. I want him to bat at three, but I don't see that happening a lot. I don't know if the management wants he can do so. I would like to go with Dhawan again this year, the second highest run scorer from the last year's IPL, who was left way behind KL Rahul, who was batting in a different league altogether. So yes, I think Dhawan will also be amongst the top run scorers this year, if not the top, but at least in top five. So a lot of hope on Dhawan to score a chunk of runs for the Delhi Capitals.
yes, definitely. But
Being an experienced player, being the seeing the previous season as well, and also he got I think in the match as well against England, he scored well.
90, yeah,
So
he
yeah,
missed out on
so
100, but yeah, he
yeah,
was
he missed it on
there.
100, but okay, decent form
Yes,
again, responsible batsman. So hoping that he
definitely.
scores a lot of runs for Delhi.
With the World Cup coming down later this year, so definitely he will be there. That I my opening slot. I need my opening slot, and I want to perform for that. So
That's not
definitely
that's
the
that won't be likely even if Dhawan has a 500 run season, but strike rate matters as well in that scene. So
but
yes,
not only that, but
who's your best batsman?
yeah, definitely. And if you go to see, but my best batsman, I would yet say Shaw for this season. I would like to back
So then
him.
change your MVP to Rishabh Pant. You know, let's
Yeah,
have
I
something
can
like
go
that.
with
You know,
that. Yeah, we can go with a different.
let's not have the similar names
Yes.
everywhere.
Yes. No, because I feel MVP definitely I can go with Pant as well. I was confused between that only, but definitely I want Shaw to perform this season really badly, just because of pure fact that what criticism he has gone through. And okay, now I already said about Shaw for MVP. So as it goes same for the best batsman as well. But Pant as an MVP is a really good thing as well, because first time captain in the IPL. Secondly, he will be surrounded with experienced players and everything. He'll be having a lot of expectation with this current form and everything. And for the matter of fact that he has been on a good high note since the Australian series. So with that confidence coming into an IPL tournament and performing a good chunk of runs again would be a really good thing. And with his captaincy, that will be really interesting to watch that how he captains around, how he rotates his bowlers, how he sets his field and everything. And definitely he's going to be a player to watch out for this season on the note for DC. So I would like to switch that to Pant for MVP and the best batsman for sure. Now comes the best bowler. Definitely, I think we are going to be different on this sort.
Mm. Quite tricky because you don't have Nokia and Rabada at the top in the initial matches, but I would still like to go with Rabada on the same basis that even if Rabada is coming later in the team, he can be. I'm not saying that he'll be a contender for a purple cap holder or something like that, but a bowler who will, even if he'll come late into the tournament, he will be quite effective. He won the purple cap last year, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, yes, he won the purple
Yeah.
cap.
Yeah, and Bumrah was second to Bumrah and Bolt were like below him. So
Yeah.
yes, if not purple cap, but at least he'll be one of the bowlers in the top two or three wicket takers in the IPL, considering he gets to play a decent number of games once he's back.
Definitely, definitely. Hey, he is a big X factor for DC because of his
Yeah.
bowling ability, and he's been the best for them since the time he's joined DC as well. So he's been there. But I would really want Ishan to perform this season and be the best bowler for Delhi Capitals and an Indian experienced guy who's been a spearhead for the Indian team in test matches. But I would really want him to perform with white ball that well itself as well, so that he- they have a point that yeah, I am still there. I am also not saying that he'll be a purple cup contender or anything as such, but I feel this season will be an outbreak season for him, though he goes for runs and everything, but with the kind of experience and the backing that he had, the learning that he had from Zahir Khan and everything. So with
Yes.
that thing, Ishant is the most experienced bowler that the team is currently having, and he'll be backed really well as well. And I hope he's fully fit and he plays the full tournament. So definitely that will be a mouth-watering contest for someone like a bowler like me. Like, I love bowling, so and I really like the way he bowls. He mimics. The best thing is Smith and Ishant are playing in the same team together. Did you realize that?
Yeah.
So definitely,
Also, if you
yeah.
want not only Smith and Ishant, but also Rishabh Pant and Steve Smith, the guy who did shadow batting for Rishabh Pant in the Australia series, Indian fans were light behind Steve Smith that when he did that shadow batting thing for
Yes.
against Rishabh Pant while he was batting in the test matches. It's going to be very interesting to see. You have a captain coming in Rishabh Pant, Shreyas Iyer not being in the team, a coach like Ricky Ponting who recently made some quite shocking comments on Prithvi Shaw.
Yes.
If you
Yes.
remember, so there was a time when Ricky Ponting asked Prithvi Shaw to come out and do some batting in the nets, but his instant response was that he looked into the eye of Ricky Ponting and said, "Dude, I'm not batting today." So yes, a lot has been said, a lot has been spoken about, a lot of things. Rabada and Nokia not being there in the initial matches, not sure when they will be playing all the games. So yes, quite a few problems to sort out for Delhi Capitals as such. Let's see.
Okay. Okay. So what do you feel about that qualification this season?
Uh, okay, quite tricky, but I still feel that they are not playing a full potential team all for the whole season, and the big reason being they were losing their captain as in Shreyas Iyer, who was exceptional last year and took the team to the finals. Rishabh Pant, not judging that he'll be a bad captain or something, but I feel he is fairly new to this arena, and an added responsibility of being a captain can bring the best and the worst depends on what happens with you. We have seen that in the past as well with a lot of players. If you're made a captain, the best comes out of you. If you're made the captain, you are under a lot of pressure, and then you don't perform with the bat or the ball as well. So still, that's going to be tricky with Rabada and Nokia not being playing the initial few games. I still feel that they are a bit out of the contention for the playoffs. I think bottom four, but I'm not writing them off totally. They might just sneak in at number four, but there will be a tough fight between the number four and number five. So I think they will finish at five this season, if not in the top four, and not lower than that.
Yeah, I too feel the same this season. I don't feel that they'll make a cut this season. Though the last season was exceptional season for them. They have good set of players and everything. But somewhere down the line, missing out on Shreyas Iyer is a big blow. Plus a
Big blow.
couple of players going through quarantine, not missing initial stages of IPL. So definitely there is a lot of backing that they need to do. They need to do catch up later on into the season if they don't start well. And Pant, being fairly new, totally agreed that he'll be carrying a lot of expectations and everything. He's new into the captaincy mode, but I doubt that that will affect him much. But definitely how he performs on the pitch, how he captains around with the kind of experienced players that he has, That would be really interesting to see. But I too don't feel that they'll be able to make this season. They'll have the cut this season.
Mm.
So that's it.
Yeah.
With that, we end our first couple of teams of review for today. That was SRH and DC. So as we decided earlier that SRH, we discussed about SRH, a good strong team that is going down till the wire, the one team to watch out for. According to Drupad, the making to top two, the team that can be a good competition to Mumbai Indians. So definitely a team to watch out for with a well set balanced side with backups and everything. And the other hand, DC with a young team, young captain coming into the picture, and with a fairly young squad, but with the experience as well, wherein we both feel that this season they might not make the cut in to the top four qualification, but definitely a good team, a well balanced team as well. And the major talking point was to see how Pant performs this season. So
Yes,
that is something that we all are looking out for. And definitely that is something that we'll be eager to hear about and everything. So with that, we end today's this session, which is our first two teams. We'll be soon posting another video which has the teams that are playing today, the team that is playing tonight, and the team that is a champion, as well as the team that is constantly in the hunt of an IPL trophy. So
yes.
stay tuned, and do like, share, and subscribe if you like our channel, if you like our content. And
Yep.
please do grow with us and make us grow as well. Thank you so much for watching, and you can watch our second video over the stream itself when we get it uploaded. Thank you so much. And thank you, Drupad. We'll join you again for the second session.
Thank you. Thank you so much.